Chloe also gave the commission the results of the 2023 survey. Many of the results were positive. You know, you always have a few that aren't as positive, but overall it was positive.
Sorry. I don't know why that one. The
Hello.
YouTube just popped.
Oh, sorry.
It was noted that some deep cleaning had been done in the kitchen and the youth center, because that was a concern a couple of meetings ago. Aaron presented a map for the commission members to jot down where they would like to see benches along the trail. So it was kind of a wish list. Each bench, it costs about $1,500 to put in. So, you know, it's a costly project. Suggestion was made to change a meeting schedule to every other month basis with the option of holding a special meeting if needed. Everyone agreed. That will start after our June meeting. So we'll have a meeting in June again. Discussion on creating a grievance policy. So they presented a couple of samples for us to review, and members will come back at the next meeting with content they'd like to see on a grievance form for the city of Buckley. And work is being done concerning the creation of a self-assessment and accreditation manual. This included the mission statement, strategic plan, goals, objectives, and action plans. And our next meeting will be June 5th.
Okay.
So.
Thank you.
Mhm.
No other committee reports? Okay, council member comments and good of the order. Councilmember Smith.
I would just ask the city administrator, when you have a chance, if you could coordinate with Rails and Trails to get a idea when the bridge over the White River will be completed. I'm getting a lot of questions about that.
The most recent update I heard was late summer, early fall. They did have some delay on the other side of the bridge. But you're talking about the White River Bridge, not the other one that just closed.
Yeah.
Okay. And no recent update, so I will definitely follow up. They did advise that they wouldn't recommend us planning any events for fall.
Okay, thank you.
So we'll, more to come.
Yeah, I think was there definitely September, October, or possibly even later into the winter.
Yeah, they were running into some issues with the construction to connect the bridge to the trail in Enumclaw and just that section of it. But from what I've heard from those who go over in that area, there's a lot of construction happening on a regular basis. So maybe they are on schedule. They did not want to postpone beyond their most recent postpone, which was August. So if I'm guessing in August, we'll probably hear if they're going to postpone, but maybe sooner.
Thank you. Okay. Any other council member comments, good of the order type stuff? Kenny.
The 20, the flash and reader boards we got for the speed limit signs,
Yes.
are they broke?
No. I don't believe so.
The one on Ryan Road's been out for like 2 months. I noticed it hasn't been working.
Okay.
Well,
I'll look into it.
You're doing 23, and it says you're doing 30. So
Maybe.
But I was thinking for the data collection more than anything.
Yeah, I will look into that.
Kids can't try to beat the high score if it's not working.
No,
All right, Connie.
I have one question for Courtney. You're talking about down by the river, making a little park area down here. You realize we've got a lot of ground up there that we could have incorporated into the city of Buckley. And I do have a list, I just didn't get it all typed out. And there's quite a bit of ground up that we could use for trail and for recreation. But I will be getting that to you.
Great.
Just a shout out to our police department for that ride to Elk Ridge on Monday. It looks like a huge turnout and I know the Facebook got a lot of press, so
Yeah.
that's huge for our community. So thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Consent agenda.
On tonight's consent agenda is the approval of the minutes of the January 23rd, 2024 city council meeting and claims and payroll.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carries. The next item is an interlocal agreement for inmate housing with Yakima County.
Move to approve the interlocal agreement for inmate housing with Yakima County.
Second.
Okay, Chief Alfonso's here for questions.
Yes,
Concern.
and so the reason for this one and then the Issaquah jail is we received notice from the Enumclaw jail that they will be shutting down for a period of time sometime in June, July, for a remodel. So they will be getting rid of all their inmates. We currently have 4 in there right now, 2 on a long-term basis. And so we needed to look for other housing. So we came up with Issaquah and the city of Yakima. We've housed at the Yakima jail previously on long-term commits. It was a lot cheaper back then than it is now. But they are starting up their transport from the west side back to the east side. So just keeping our options open so that we don't run into having to release anybody rather than housing them or keeping them housed for this temporary delay. And they're going to be doing a remodel, but we're not sure what that entails. So I'll find out a little more tomorrow.
Wrong.
Chief, is it fair to say that the prices that are in these contracts are better than what you could have got it? We cannot use SCORE because that's King County, correct?
We can use SCORE. Yeah,
But these are cheaper, these are more economical prices than
Correct.
Pierce County Jail and SCORE.
yeah. And our misdemeanors, we're a last resort at Pierce County Jail. We do have a contract with SCORE. We can book in there, but it's at, double the rate of these current contracts. And these are non-guaranteed as well. So these rates are significantly reduced and we'll keep our budget intact as far as our jail contracts go. So that's why we chose to look elsewhere, even though we do have if we had a medical inmate, they go to SCORE and we're going to pay. But that we don't have any of those currently. So.
Denise.
So I was looking at this. I was glad to see that Yakima will be the ones transporting back and forth, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's handy. That way it doesn't take our city staff. One of the things that I saw that I just wondered, I don't know if this is just typical or not, but if an inmate needs some kind of medical or dental that can be within the YC DOC facility, then the inmate pays co-payment. That's what it shows it.
Yeah, they have it. It will come back to the city eventually as far as that goes. So what would happen likely is we would get in contact with a judge and figure out a
Repayment or
release of the inmate so they could seek their own medical attention at their own cost. And then depending on where they were in their sentence, like one of our long terms is on 180 day court commit. So just 6 months. And so rather than releasing him into just back and not serving his sentence, we're looking to transfer him to the Yakima jail. Now, if he had a medical issue, a long-term medical issue, we would then reevaluate with the judge on whether or not to keep them or release them based off of that. But usually with these contracts, the city is on the hook while they're incarcerated. So
is there any like reimbursement? I'm just thinking,
yeah,
if somebody has a
it's
heart
not
attack while
likely
they're
because the
there.
people that are in custody usually don't have the money or medical insurance anyways.
Right,
So it's going to fall back on the city.
but wouldn't the state kick in on things like that?
Maybe.
Maybe, I just,
Probably
I
not.
mean, there could be high
Yeah,
hospital costs.
yeah.
And
And likely if someone was to have a catastrophic medical event while in custody, they would get transported and then immediately released by the courts. until they're, and then they would just reevaluate them through the courts, whether or not they're gonna finish their incarceration out, or if we're just gonna call it good and release them.
Okay, that
Yeah.
was like, whoa, we could have huge medical bills for some of these.
Yeah,
people, you know?
and likely, like, when we have a medical inmate and we book into SCORE jail, which is significantly, it's almost $300 a day versus that. So you have to have a serious medical emergency to get booked in there and be held, or you have to be in there on some pretty serious charges, or have had, for the judge to not release you to seek your medical attention. And then the court process will take it after you've received your medical care. So, but yeah,
It was just.
it's
something
rather
that
expensive and it would tank our budget in a matter of no time. So,
I can understand.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other concerns, questions, comments? Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carries. The next item is an interagency agreement with the city of Issaquah for inmate housing.
Move to approve the interagency agreement between the city of Issaquah and Buckley for housing of inmates in the Issaquah City Jail.
Second.
Anything that wasn't covered last with Yakima? Same, okay. All right, all in favor? All opposed?
Motion carries.
We have. I just haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Chiming in.
The next item is an interlocal agreement for multi-jurisdictional specialty teams in Pierce County.
Move to approve the interlocal operation agreement for multi-jurisdictional specialty teams in Pierce County.
Second.
All right,
so this interlocal agreement, the city of Buckley has long been partners with the cooperative cities of Pierce County, Lakewood, Puyallup, Bonnie Lake, all the small cities co-op, and we merge our teams together when it comes to major collision response teams, crime response units, and detectives and investigations and things of that nature. So, and Buckley's been a part of it ever since I can remember. It's never been memorialized in a official ILA. We were looking back, the chiefs were looking back, and it was probably somewhere late 2013 when there was an agreement. So we're just updating this agreement. We sent it to our city attorney to review, and it falls within what we want to do. And we have current members of our department on these teams. It keeps the cost down rather than us just paying someone to do these major investigations or these fatality accidents or major accidents too. So this is just kind of memorializing it for 2024, getting all the agencies to sign back on.
all right. Questions, comments, concerns, Connie?
I heard before, when is this the same thing that was put together before?
No, so what you're thinking of, Connie, probably is with the Metro SWAT team.
Okay.
This excludes Metro SWAT. Our insurance carrier doesn't allow for the city of Buckley to
Right,
join
that
that
was
because
gonna
of
be my next
liability. Even though, and I disagree with them, even though the liability is the same for these types of teams, our officers could go out and there's liability there. They are not in agreement that being a member of that there's more liability being a member of the Metro SWAT ILA. So that's left off. It's not included on this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, thanks, chief.
Yep.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion carries.
And staff reports.
Two updates this evening. First, today was the City Hall bid opening for the modernization project. And we did receive two bids that came in under the engineer's estimate, which means under budget. So you will see the final proposal on that likely at our next council meeting at the end of May. Another thing that you will see at our next council meeting is the contract for services with Enumclaw Landscape Management, which we've discussed separately. We do have a staff member who is out on extended medical leave. And so backfilling that work, we've started working with ELM.
All right.
Courtney, is that, is the brush cutting on 410, is that city or is that WashDOT?
Let me follow up. I believe
like-
it's growing.
Okay,
It's-
I thought it was
we will-
the city for
I
brush
believe
cutting.
that, yeah, I believe that we do it, but let me follow up just to
Okay.
verify that
Okay.
there isn't some shared obligation. I'm not sure.
I believe it's in the city, it's state land, state property, but city maintained. That's why you see like Enumclaw, Buckley, Bonnie Lake, we've always mowed as long as I can remember.
Okay. All right,
Might be worth visiting
Mhm.
WashDOT and asking.
For help.
it's really long. I just haven't seen the brush cutter out in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, they did a really nice job out around the state school
Mhm.
3 or 4 weeks ago. It looks really good.
I'll follow up.
All right. And one more round for public comment. If anybody has comment, concern, criticism, we'll take it all.
Criticism.
All right. Well, with that, I guess we'll have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Nice.
All opposed? All right. Thank you, council.